What's the haps? I'm John, aka Maroka, and welcome to Spiel. We are in Silver Pawn on Tier 3 Elite, which starts out in a shock stratum. And there's a little bit of fun in the gate map. If we have a look, there's one of those things that everybody likes, or at least a lot of people seem to like. We have one of those guaranteed arenas. If you fancy farming arenas because of crowns or whatnot, there is one of those, and you have no other options. You will be going through an arena, and I will likely be going through an arena. So let us do that. So that could be interesting. So normally I'd kick things off with the news. News is going to take second fiddle today. First off, a little bit of a nice milestone to announce. Hit 500 subscribers on the channel, which is freaking amazing. Thank you everybody who has supported me or subscribed or contributed or commented or anything. Anybody who has been involved or interacted with my channel in any way. You are the people who make this possible, and thank you very much to everyone. So tradition would dictate that normally I would have some sort of celebration. And I'm going to kill him just in case he wants to interrupt our celebrations. And I will. Let's celebrate. Not with a handgun. Handguns are a bad way to celebrate things. Accessories, usables. We have confetti. We do have confetti. Celebrate! Ta-da! Okay, there we go. That's done. Now, that's pretty poor for 500. 500 seems like a good milestone. I think we could do better than that. So why don't we do one of my old school patented game key giveaways, because I'm the sort of person who buys ridiculous amounts of bundles and things, and as such has gratuitous quantities of game keys lying around. I've got a big text document full of them, and it's getting kind of lengthy actually. Yeah, so I could give you all, or at least someone, first come first served is the deal. We know how these go. We've done them before at previous milestones. First come, first served. I'm going to be giving a key for Little Inferno, which will be appearing on your screen right about now. If you do not own Little Inferno, well, I don't know why not, because it's an amazing game and you should totally own it. But if you don't own it and you would like to own it, and you get here early enough, and you can copy this code down off your screen and redeem it on Steam for a copy of Little Inferno, and you can play it to your heart's content. It's a wonderful game, and you should totally check it out. And someone, somewhere, will get the chance to do just that. Please leave a comment if you do snag that, because always good to know who got that. And, I've gone the wrong freaking way, haven't I? This was the narrow path. The narrow paths are never the major paths. Uh-oh. Ah, get off. Oh, it only cost me my shield. That's okay. I can took out my entire shield in one hit, but hey. So this is the way forward. Right. There are, like I say, I have many keys, and I've often contemplated what in the name of God do I actually do with all these spare keys. I mean, I kind of feel like maybe I give them to friends and stuff. Hello, we're like one of them, like a spark. I would like to offer them up to peoples. Oh, good, pills for everyone. Pills for everyone here. I would like to offer them up to people, but I'm not just going to dish them out. What I would like is to offer a little incentive, because it's something for you and something for me. A bit of quid pro quo, perhaps. Two of the main things I like to do on the channel, two of my favourite things to do, first impressions and the early looks. The games are still in alpha and beta, but those series have got like the least interesting series names I could possibly have given them. First impressions and early look. And you look at anyone else on YouTube, they or someone somewhere has come up with a reasonably interesting name. Often a play on words. I mean, TB Total Biscuits has got his famous WTF series, which is quite obviously kind of an inspiration for me. Then you look at another good example is the Yogscast. They've got Shin and Kim do Shin-pressions and Kim-pressions, which is a wonderful play on words. And I've racked my head, and I can't think of anything particularly witty that relates to either Button Mash or to Maroka. And either of those would be ideal, but neither of them work well with what I've got. So if anybody somewhere, some clever wordsmith, can come up with something that I really like and would like to use for my channel, and you're okay with me stealing and using, I will gladly reward you with a game that you may pick from my list. How's that for a deal? You come up with something clever and witty that I can use for future videos, and you can have a game. Is that a deal, or is that a deal? I think that is a deal. So get your thinking caps on, folks, because that's cool. So, Now, let's do, at long last, some Spiral Knights news. So, the social media stuff, the stuff you can go and have a look at, stuff that pops up every Tuesday evening, it seems to be, or evening for me, it would be middle of the day, I guess, for other folks. But every Tuesday evening there's, at the minute, concept art. So this week is Apocrian concept art. So you can see some of the early designs for the Apocrian guys. Well, guys, I say guys, Harvester. There is only one that we're aware of. There does seem to be the sort of implication that it's like a, I don't know, maybe another civilization or alien species or something, but we've only ever seen one of them, so I don't know. But there's a big fat one, and there's a sort of lanky, skinny one, and then the final design that many people will have seen when Apocrypha rolled around back end of last year. And if the cat event ever shows up, which I thought it would have been here by now, if the cat event shows up, I think Apocrypha shouldn't be too long after that, because it wasn't last time. Assuming they're on some sort of schedule. I don't know. They may not be. They may just be working according to their own whims. But there you go. If you want to go see what the proto-Apocryphan harvesters looked like, they were big and fat and kind of funny looking. And they're there. They're there for all to see. In other news, not really relevant anymore, but nonetheless interesting, what are they called? Flash sales. Flash sales, that's what it was. This weekend saw things going on cheap and changing every hour on the supply depot. So lots of interesting accessories and bits and pieces and very expensive things for your guild hall on there for you to grab. And if you did, great. If you didn't, also great. You saved money. Congratulations. But the one interesting thing that came out of that was someone typoed at some point, and the prismatic bolted Vs appeared. You could buy them in packs of 750 prismatic bolted Vs. Yes, we're talking prismatic accessories. You could buy 750 of them at a time for the lofty princely sum of 0 energy. Yes, that's not even, I'm not even joking. I would like to say I was joking, but that's actually what happened. You could just buy infinite prismatic bolted Vs as long as you're prepared to sit and click the button for long enough. And lots of people did. And now there are thousands, tens of thousands of them flying around. Everybody's got loads. If you haven't got any, you might want to look into getting some because they're pretty cheap now. Now, I've had people say, oh, you should pick them up, they'll go up in value. No, they won't. I can't for a moment believe they'll go up in value. There are too many of them for them to go up in value. Unless Three Rings makes an active decision to hunt down and remove all of them from the game, which they're kind of doing, but not very effectively. They just can't get rid of them all. And there's too many for that to work. I mean, think about stuff like the Frosty or Harvest gear. There's a lot of that around, but they're still worth a bit. We're talking about something here that there's even more of than any of those. I mean, there are undoubtedly thousands of pieces of Harvest going spare, and they're still worth a few thousand crowns. But we're talking about things that are tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of now. I don't think that it's going to be years and years and years and years and years, far too long to even bother dealing with before any of them get any kind of value whatsoever, I think. So I wouldn't say it was a good investment opportunity, but if you're in the market for a prismatic bolted V, well, you're in luck. However, I would urge caution when dealing with this, because there are reports that people have been banned over it. I think it's mostly just the big people, the people that did pick up hundreds of thousands of the damn things. Those kind of people are in a little bit of trouble now. Why are... oh, I was going to say, why is there no zombie? So, if you picked up a ridiculous quantity of them and have not sold them yet, I think the best thing you could possibly do is not sell them and, you know, turn them over to the GMs. Just for the sake of not getting yourself banned, otherwise you are kind of at a risk. I would still urge caution. Like I say, there's loads of them on the auction house, and many of them can be picked up for 10 crowns or less. So if you're actually after one, you can get them very, very cheaply, but I will say, caveat emptor, buyer beware. Bear in mind that these are obtained through a glitch. They're not legitimately obtained in the game, and it is against the terms of service to, you know, exploit these glitches. which is why people are getting banned over them. So be careful when dealing with them. I myself have, in fact, picked up 50 of them for 1,500 crowns, because I thought, oh, that seems like I missed the deal, but hey, I can part with 1,500 crowns for 50 prismatic accessories. I don't even like the look of them, actually. Come to check them out. I don't think there's anything they look good on. Also told they looked good on a Skulver gear, but I don't know. I don't actually own a Skulver helmet, so eh. I've got the Snarble and I've got the Vogue. I don't actually have the Skulver helmet. I've got the coat, obviously, because it's kind of my thing. But yeah, that's that. So you can pick them up cheap, but be careful with them. If you picked up ridiculous quantities of them for free, you might be in trouble. Please do the right thing and turn them in. If you're trying to sell stacks of 10,000 at a time on the auction house, there's a not entirely unreasonable chance you could get banned for doing that. Don't do that! Because nobody wants to get banned. What will all your profiteering have been for if you have no account to profit on? So, that's not good. So, okay, let's go back, if I may, back to talking channel stuff, because obviously we're at a wonderful little milestone here, and talking to people to sort of general consensus. Well, I say general consensus, just the general feeling I've been getting from people is maybe the direction I've taken the channel within the last month, it's been a bit, I don't know how to describe it, maybe not as great as it could have been. And I definitely get that vibe myself. I honestly haven't known what kind of content to make, so I've just made whatever I felt like doing on any given day for the most part, which is not the right way to run a channel. And I know for a fact what most of you want is Spiral Knights content, and I have not been doing that, which has let a lot of people down. I want to come up with something new, I want to do something interesting, and I've been trying to figure something out. So I'm going to pitch an idea here, and I want feedback on it. Tell me whether it's something you would be okay with, and would want to see. And if it is, we can make something happen here. So, you want Spiral Knights content, right? I've seen people have said in the past, why don't you do PvP? Because I can't stand Lockdown is the reason. Lockdown is terrible. It's an elitist and, generally speaking, unbalanced and favours people who have invested more time and money into their characters and progression and stuff. And it's generally, it's not a great environment. A lot of PvP type things often tend to foster negative personalities quite well, so I'm not a fan of PvP generally speaking in MMOs and stuff. But also, something people always ask is, can I be in a video? And the answer is no, because that's just kind of weird. I mean, no offense or anything, but just having a guy tag along behind me while I'm talking to myself is kind of a little odd. I mean, sure, when I'm showing off new content and things, I might do it in a group and talk about the content whilst I'm doing it as part of a group, but just to have a person, say if there was a guy walking around, following me around doing this whilst I'm doing Spiral Spiel, that would be kind of odd, and I should check I've got the right gear for this. This was a Robo Rampage, yes? I think. What we got? Yes. Let's just put on some appropriate gear. But, if I can find a way to get people into videos, I may have an idea for that. So, I want to bring back Blast Network, because Blast Network, I kinda like, and it's PvP, so that's good. Blast Network is something I've been wanting to do for a while as well, actually. I mean, how can I make this into something? So let's bring back Blast Network. What I'm thinking is, at one point in the week, for an hour or 2 hours or whatever, however long it takes, at a scheduled time, I will arrange something. Oh god, there's missiles. Yes, blow up the scuttlebots. They're good. I will set a time to arrange to meet, and we will all gather together, and we'll do Blast Network at some point each week, and I will record it and comment on it, and I'm thinking it'd be good to do that collaboratively, so I might try and wrangle a member of the Spiral Knights community or network or whatever. If you're familiar with the Arsenal podcast, and if you're not, you totally should be, go check out their YouTube channel and website and all the stuff they do, because Latterson puts a hell of a lot of work into that. That's stuff you should be checking out. There should be a link to that over on my channel page if you want to go find those guys. Yeah, those kind of people who do Spiral Knights content, people who are active in the Spiral Knights community. I'll try and get guests on and we can sort of chat and do a bit of PvP, and you guys can play Bomberman against us, effectively. And, I don't know, it could be a giggle. That's what I'm thinking. So we get different people on each week, talk about different whatevers, just, you know, I don't know, talk trash. Could be. However it plays out. And I'll do some highlights, and then the highlights will be a thing that you can watch for your entertainment value. You will get to star in the video, you'll get more Spiral Knights, you'll actually get to see me doing PvP, and I can introduce you to some of the members of the Spiral Knights community, which you may or may not know. And then you could see them. You could see new people that you've never seen before, and meet new personalities, or see your old favourites. I mean, I know there's plenty of people on. Plenty of my subscribers are very familiar with the Arsenal podcast, but I would very much wager there'll be people out there that aren't. So you should totally be checking them out. I mean, he plugs me at every opportunity, so I shall continue to plug him as well. Go check out his channel. So if that's a thing that sounds interesting, by the way, I have not run this past anybody. At this point, I'm quite sure when he watches this, Latterson will be like, you didn't mention this to me. No, I kind of thought it up last night, actually, if I'm honest. I was like, this could actually be a thing. That could work, maybe. So, like I say, it'd be a guest thing. I'll sort of just approach people, whoever's available each week, and say, hey, do you want to chat over Skype, and we can do a thing. And it'd be good. Be good, right? So, we'll see how that one goes down. Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments. Lots of things you do need to let me know in the comments. Questions, as always. Questions are a thing you should leave in the comments, and loads of people did last week, and I love that. That's fantastic. Probably more than I'm going to get the chance to talk about this week, on the basis that we are 17 minutes into this already. So, yeah, I've got a few quickies, but nothing particularly in-depth this week, I don't think. Absolutely feel free to keep leaving questions. If you asked a question last week and I haven't answered it, or don't answer it yet, I will do so in the future. Don't worry, it's coming. A backlog of material is always good, so I don't have to worry about what I'm going to talk about next week. So, if you got a question, please continue to leave them. If I haven't answered it yet, do not sweat it. But let us begin with one. Let us start with Techno Kill asked, and this is a great question, I like this. This is a sort of thing I can deal with. A quick, easy one. He asks, what is your favourite undersea creature, kitchen utensil, and pizza topping? And that is a lot of scuttlebots. Let's get these guys mopped up. So, what is my favourite undersea creature? I tell you what, I have never been a particular fan of undersea creature type things. Many of them are dangerous, and a great many of the ones that aren't dangerous are generally just kind of gross. So, yeah, they're not a particularly pleasant bunch of things, undersea creatures. So, not a big fan there. Can I say Zoidberg? Is Zoidberg a good answer? It's my show, I can say what I want. I will say Zoidberg. Why not Zoidberg, indeed? So, my favourite undersea creature is Zoidberg. Favourite kitchen utensil? Well, that's a bit of a weird one. I have no great love of the kitchen utensils. I am not a chef, unfortunately. I'm a derp in the kitchen. Okay, there goes my shields. I want that speed boost. Give me the speeds. Are we done being shocked? We are! How wonderful. Kitchen utensil, bottle opener? Is a bottle opener a utensil? It's kind of a utensil. It goes in the same drawer as all my utensils, so yes, I'm going to call it that. The bottle opener provides access to the beer, and for that reason, that is my favourite kitchen utensil. Favourite pizza topping? Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. The old classic standby is pepperoni. You can never go wrong with pepperoni. Although, if I'm ordering out from somewhere, generally speaking, I will go for some sort of hot type deal, or some nice and spicy, or American Sizzler, or whatever they've chosen to brand theirs as. Lots of meat and lots of spice is good. That's always a great topping. But the king of them all, the absolute champione, the one that I can absolutely guarantee nobody will have tried. Although if you have, please let me know, and then I will know I'm not that weird. And I will feel better about myself for having tried this, but... And this is a student thing. This is so obviously a student thing. Do I want to do the third room or not? No. I hate doing the third room in tier 3 arenas. It's horrifyingly too many enemies. Far too many enemies for my liking. And I will die and then I will be sad. Let's carry on. So, yeah, such an obviously student construct. This was a university thing. We rang up the pizza place one evening because we didn't fancy cooking because we were students, and I can't remember who came up with the bloody idea, but we asked them, can you put fish fingers on the pizza as a topping? And much to our astonishment, the answer was, yes, we can. This is deconstruction zone, I'm geared, that's okay. So yes, they could do fish fingers. And you know what? It was bloody lovely. It was just a cheese pizza, and they'd taken like 8 fish fingers or something, and then arranged them in like a radial pattern, like a sort of sun shape around it, pointing outwards. And bloody nice that was. I would very much recommend that if you ever get the opportunity. I mean, it's a fairly trivial one to make at home yourself as well. Just buy yourself a cheese pizza and buy a pack of fish fingers and lay them out on it and get that under the grill. That's lovely stuff. Try that. So, yes, thank you for that question, TechnoKill. That was bizarre but cool. Smooth asks, have you played the Metro games? Metro 2033 and Metro Last Lights? Yes and no. Sort of. Kind of. Maybe. Can you repeat the question? Metro 2033 I have played. I don't know when I picked it up. Maybe as a bundle. I don't know. Was it a part of a bundle? I don't know. I think I picked it up cheap because it was supposed to be kind of good, and it weren't bad. I didn't hate it much. I played a few hours of it, and then I got to a point which utterly ruined it for me, because I got to a bit where... if you're not familiar with the Metro franchise, everybody else, it's sort of a post-apocalyptic nuclear fallout kind of end-of-the-world scenario, and there's lots of radiation. You need to take appropriate precautions, and one of the precautions it makes you take is you need to, if you go outside, you need a gas mask to prevent yourself breathing in all the harmful junk that nukes and what have you put into the air, you know. So yeah, that's the gas masks. They then also required you to put in filters for them, and when they ran out, you put in a fresh filter, so you had to keep stocking up on these filters. And when the filter ran out, your health slowly drained and you would die. And I got to this point where... I think this was a few hours into the game, during probably my first play session, so I hadn't actually bothered saving at that point, I don't think. I got some auto-save, but that was no bloody use to me. I'd got most of the way through an outdoor mission, so of course I'm wearing my gas mask, and I've been using up all these air filters, and I get to my last one. I'm like, okay, well now I need to start hunting around for some more, or finish the mission really quickly. And I believe there was I can't remember, there was either a really tough fight or a boss, I forget which. But there was a big fight at the end of this, and I was like, right, so my quick save obviously was halfway through the middle of this section, not far from the boss fight. So my only option to revert was near death. And I've got a couple of minutes before I slowly die, to kill this boss and finish the section, or find another air filter. And I reloaded that one save a few times, and I couldn't for the life of me find either... Ow, jeez. Hey, I got 1 pip left. That is... As a side note, that's... I'm not sure why. Latterson's been calling that Sonic mode, and I hadn't noticed it be a thing until he pointed it out. Now I'm seeing it all the time. So that's Sonic mode there, when you get 1 pip of health left. It just but sometimes when you take a hit that would normally kill you, sometimes it doesn't. It leaves you with 1 pip. Kind of strange, but hey ho. It saved my life on many occasions, so I won't whine too much. Get back. Where was I? So yes, I've got a quick save halfway through this area. I need to kill the boss before my air runs out, or find a new filter. And I've scavenged every nook and cranny, every square inch of this area, and I can't find another filter. And I can't kill this boss fast enough, quite frankly. It's not happening. I tried. And eventually I just get frustrated and I give up. And sorry to say, that's where the story ends. That is Metro 2033 for me. It wasn't a positive experience, and it left a bitter taste in my mouth, and I kind of don't want to play any more of it. And when Metro Last Light came out, sure, I saw everyone was talking about it, all the hype. It was like, oh, new Metro game, ooh, the Metro game, Metro is good, Metro is a great series. And I'm like, but that wasn't my experience with it. My experience with it was almost overwhelmingly negative because of that one bloody section. I never got to see much of the game because that one bit forced me into a scenario where everything went wrong and I couldn't do well. So, no, I don't like that, unfortunately. My mate did insist, when I was over at my mate's house last night, he insisted that we should definitely play Metro Last Light, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to, and it's like, oh, we'll install it, and then, sure, he's like, oh, you need to give it a chance. So I was like, alright, fine, I'll give it a chance. So we set the 10 gig download going, and went and played GTA, and forgot that the 10 gig download was going, and I guess it's installed by now, but the fact is we never played it, but it's likely to be foisted upon me in the near future. I've got a few minutes left and one question extra that I was going to answer. Let's see if we can burn through this quickie. Core Guardian asks, how come you are unemployed? I did mention that last week. That is, people who have been around longer on the channel will probably be aware of this. Videos from July last year will talk about my new shiny job that I had that I was totally a big fan of. And then videos from start of October will explain how I happened to lose said job. My last job I had was with Team 17, who are the guys who made the Worms franchise, so most of you will likely have heard of them, which, yeah, I liked being able to say that, because everyone says, when I say, oh, I work for Team 17, I was like, I've never heard of Team 17, who are they? And I say, yes, you have heard of them, they made the Worms franchise. He's like, oh, I have heard of them. Yeah, you have. You probably played loads of their games as a kid. I know I did. So that was really cool being able to work for them. I was kind of their... Well, I interviewed for a kind of a support position, their tech support kind of guy, when people you know, send an email and say, oh, my copy of Worms Armageddon isn't working, I have to go, well, this is how you fix it. But they were like, oh, we think you're far more talented than this job would bore you, we've got a better job for you. And then they gave me a kind of a community manager kind of position. And that was cool. Well, it had the potential to be cool. Unfortunately, the games genuinely, they really didn't. I'm not sure where to lay the blame. I would almost say the marketing department, but I was part of the marketing department, so that would be kind of partially myself to blame. But the games themselves didn't have a huge community to work with. So they launched the new game, the Worms Clan Wars, and it had an average concurrent player base of about 30. I imagine it's more recently because they've actually put it on sale a few times recently, so people might actually genuinely be playing that game now. But when they were wanting me to community manage, they had a community of about 30 people. That's not big enough to warrant an entire person to manage it, quite frankly. So much of the day, I was sat around not doing much, and undoubtedly this got picked up upon. They were like, well, what are you contributing? We thought you were going to contribute more. And I was like, I didn't realize you wanted me to revolutionize everything. They clearly did want me to revolutionize everything. And as a consequence, they were like, well, we'd expected so much more. We hired you thinking you would bring more to the company from a position, a minimum wage position, we should add. This is paying me minimum wage for a job that I didn't apply for. And they wanted me to revolutionize everything. I don't know what... Again, this was not made clear in the job description either. They didn't say, we're expecting you to implement brand new strategies and bold new innovations in the company that will increase sales multiple times. And I'm like, no. I'm getting no direction here. It was not well run. There was very little communication. And I unfortunately can't even claim to particularly have enjoyed my time there, so... That was Team 17, unfortunately, and yeah, so they let me go around the start of October, end of September time. And I've been doing this since, which is much more fun. I enjoy this. You guys are... I have a bigger community here than Team 17 has for Worms Clan Wars, I would almost hesitate to suggest. Which is something. There's a claim to fame, right? like I say, they put it on. They've done a few Steam sales. They did the Christmas sale, and they've had daily deals and things, putting it on for. I think they've actually done it at 75% off now, so then people might actually pick that game up. Hey, another spark. Cool. So maybe things are different. Maybe they need a community manager now, but I'll be damned if I actually would want to work for them again. So, but if anybody happens to know anybody who wants a community manager, I have some small experience in the field and would be totally up for the role. Hey. So let's once again wrap it up in the middle of the floor, I guess. Kind of an odd place to leave it, but we are done. That's all for today. I'm out of page. My page is done, and we're half an hour in. So that's an episode. So of course, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, please leave them in the comments. Totally always appreciated. And if you want to leave a like on this video if you've enjoyed it, that would help me out a bunch. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Maroka, this has been Spiel, and I've forgotten to charge my sword up. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Yeah!